Hey everyone, it's Nicole here and welcome back. I hope you're all well today. What we're going to be talking about today is plant propagation and how we do that, how we make multiple trees from one tree. So basically you're getting a free tree. Isn't that super? Well, I'm going to show you what we do. I mentioned a bit about this in a previous video, but now that a lot of the plants are becoming dormant, it's a great time to get this done so you're all way ahead for spring and you can have lots of multiple plants, because we purchased a lot of fruit trees last year. Now, because everything's increased so much, I'm not sure what the price of trees will be come the spring. If there'll be more trees, if there won't be as many, I don't know. So as a preventative measure, what we're doing is we're propagating multiple trees to make some free trees. Now you can't beat that, that's super. So I'm going to show you what we do. We have these little cups here, they're called propagation cups, and they're little black cups. You can get them in different colors, black or clear, and what they are is the actual branch of the fruit tree or whatever it is you want to duplicate goes through here. So what you would do is you'd fill this with peat moss and the plant will go in here. I'm going to demonstrate to you, and then you would close it up and you would make a free plant. So this is really exciting. It's really a game changer when it comes to producing free trees. And I'm going to do lots of different trees. We'll do the plums, we'll do peaches. I'm not sure whether we'll do apples because we have quite a few apples, but we'll do a cherry tree. So we'll do a lot, and I'll show you what we do. They also come in clear, and this one's single though. Actually, it's double, and they just close together. I'll show you. They close together like this, and the plant goes in there, and you have a wider end on the other side. And this, what's good about this one that's clear, is once it starts to develop, you'll be able to see the roots through the clear one, even though you wrap it with foil so that no light gets to it. With the black, you can't actually see the roots, so you would have to either try and peep through once it's closed, if you can see anything, or you'd have to cut, because there's some holes there for zip ties. You'd either cut the zip ties so you can see in there to see if the plant's rooted that you've just made. So I'm going to show you what we do. Hold on, sit through the whole video and enjoy. And if I haven't told you, Jesus loves you. You are loved and blessed. So take care and watch the video. Bye for now. Hey, so I have my rooting cup here, and if you look, you can see, I don't know whether you can see this, here's one that we did yesterday, but it is the same rooting cup, but what I've done is covered it with foil, because the section inside this cup where the peat moss and soil etc needs to be not exposed to light, so it needs to be dark so it can root. That's why we've covered them up with foil. So we have them here. This is a peach tree. We have them here, and a larger one we did here, and if you can see one there, and then we have one at the back, and I started one, let me see if I can show you, on the plum tree, which is there. So we started it on the plum tree too. So I am, whoops a daisy, let's get you all situated right so we don't topple over. That's better. So I'm going to show you quickly how it's done, and so you can see clear. So let's say we have this, depending on how long you want your new plant, so your new peach tree. Let's say this is 12 inches. I wouldn't do it this long, because when we cut this back, we have this whole section of the tree all here. So we would cut in between these nodes. Let me see if you can see. You see here, see there? These here are little nodes, and we have to cut the outer layer of this till we get to the cambium layer, which is a white section underneath this branch. So we need to cut that layer around, but it needs to be on a node, because that's where the roots are going to develop. So when the roots develop and it's strong enough, then you cut it, and then you have a new plant. Now the reason that you do it in the just before spring is because all the plants start to blossom and really take off during the spring, so you do it before then. So yes, you could do it that size, like I don't know, 14 inches, but it makes no sense if when prior to spring you're going to do a lot of cutting of branches. So rather than cut the branch and just discard it, we will do a cutting from it. So when you've cut that layer off in between the node, and this is filled with your peat moss, you're going to put it gently in, because part of this branch has to sit in that little lip there, and then it closes like this. So in between there is this branch, so it will go like this, and it will close, and you'll zip tie it. So in between this will be all the peat moss, will tie it, and then you're going to wrap foil around it to secure it. Now before they did this, before they made these, they used to use plastic like Ziploc bags and put them in there. So this is like this is so much better. It's more sturdy, it's more easy, it's easier to use actually, and it's you just keep reusing them, because you just wash them out, sterilize them, and use them again for the next season. So that's what we'll do. We'll place it in, close it, and zip tie it, and then in a couple of months it should be successful. You'll have roots in there, and then you will then cut it from underneath. Just a little bit of branch that should be underneath, but you'll cut it from underneath, and there you have your new plant. So on this peach tree we have, let's get that straight. On this peach tree, we have 3. I think I'll do 5, 6, 7, maybe let's say 8. I'll probably do 7 or 8 total on this peach tree, and the same with the other 2 peach trees, and then I'll do the plum trees. So we may get, maybe, I don't know, with the different plum trees and peach trees, 50, 60 new fruit trees. So hopefully if we do 50 or 60, and even if we get 40, that's 40 take and they do well, that is still a really good deal. Can you see me well? This is like, I'm in the sun here. That's better. So even if we get like 40, that would do really it'll do great. So it's best to start them now because these will be budding soon and we have to spray them down with a copper fungicide. So I'm going to get this started and I'll show you how it's all done. So the propagation of this branch is about 3 feet. It's about 3 feet high. So this is the layer that I took off, and when you get to the white layers, you can see here, that's the cambium layer, and then there, see a little, just there here is the node. So we are going to put the cup over this. I'm going to show you when we fill it up with peat moss, but first we have to put some rooting hormone on this cutting here. Now your rooting hormone comes either in a powder form or a liquid form. The one I'm using is in a liquid form and we've just added water to this. There's a measurement on there, so you just follow the measurements and then you add the water. And so I'm going to paint it on, or you just, you know, brush it on the area that you've scraped away, and ensure that it's on the node too. So I'm going to show you what we do. That's the area, and we're going to just paint it on. Ensure you've got a good coat all over, and then it's going to be ready to place the little cup over there. So I have peat moss in here and I'm going to place it inside there. This has been soaking overnight. And we try and fill the cups. So now we take the cup that's filled with the peat moss and we're going to put it over this node here, the section that we've peeled. So we're going to put it over and then we close it. So it's got to be closed and sealed. So now what we do is we place a zip tie on one end and we try and ensure that it's closed tightly. Then we do the other one. There we go. So you can see there it's nice and secure, and we have the center of the peach tree right down the middle there. So we'll cover this with some foil. So now we cover it with foil. Squeeze it tight so there's no sunlight coming in. This case is black, so there shouldn't be any sunlight coming in anyway, but just for an added precaution, we are covering this up. So there we go. So we have this one that's completely done, and we'll just leave this till the springtime. We have the others there and up there. So I'm going to do 3 more on this tree, start on all the plum trees, and we'll see what other trees. We can even do grapevines too, but we'll just do the peach trees and the plum trees to start with. So I'm standing in front of a Methley plum tree, and I noticed something which was quite a surprise. We actually did the same technique to this plum tree quite some time ago, and we forgot about it. And I went just now to go and do the air layering, and found out that there was one that we missed. So I'm going to show you what it looks like after it's been rooted for some time. So this is the Methley plum tree. It's about, I don't know, maybe 7 years old, and this is one that we did a while ago. And can you see all the roots there? We've still got it wrapped in foil, and we forgot about this. So we're going to cut this off, and you'll be able to see all the roots exposed and how we did everything. So now we're cutting this. This is a huge. Wow. So it's quite a few ants. Can you
That's
see?
going to have to be cut closer, but
But look at that root ball.
Let's walk this up front, guys.
Now we're preparing the soil. We've mixed a lot of peat moss in there so it maintains the moisture.
Now we're going to soak some peat moss to put around the root ball so that it stays moist longer. This way you don't have to water it so often. And this also will help with establishment. We are also going to put in organic matter such as bait fish that I catch, which really accelerates growth, production of your fruit and vegetables. I recommend putting this on anything that you plant in the ground or in a pot. You just put this in the bottom of the dirt, on the top of the dirt where you're going to put the plant. Then you put your plant on top of it, and these things will make your plants amazingly gorgeous. And if you don't believe me, we will show you the tomato plants that I've done literally 6 weeks ago, and let you see how big they are.
Now here's the tomato plants that Richard planted. We're not going to show you the ones I planted because he took all my soil and put it in there, but he did put the fish in his. So as you can see, they are really large compared to mine.
Now we're implementing the organic material. I'm gonna put a little more, that's not enough. And some people like to add a layer of lime to maybe cut down on the smell, but I don't do that because as deep as it is going to be, there should be no odor. We're adding the wet peat moss around the ball. We're going to pack it in pretty tight, but we need to make sure the tree is straight. So that should be straight right there for now. Going to keep adding more of this in there, so this way it's good and wet. Now I'm gonna water it in. All right, all that's left now to do is to tie this stake to the tree so it doesn't get blown over by any heavy winds. And we'll leave that stake in there for maybe 2-3 months. And we'll be able to pull it out, and it should be established enough that it'll stay upright on its own. We'll be back in touch as soon as this thing's established.
So I just want you to see how big this cutting was that we did. I would say, I don't know, this is 12 feet. It's huge, but I am super excited about this because what a wonderful surprise. I didn't even know that it was still there, so that's wonderful. So guys, that's it for today. I hope you've really enjoyed that, and I hope you've learned a lot of information. I'll keep you updated on this new Methley plum tree, which I am super excited. We'll see how that grows and how it takes off and when it starts to blossom in the spring. So see you next time. Bye.